It's Ron Reader digs the universe. I'm Ron Reader, and this is Ron Reader Digs the Universe. And tonight, the Democrats, the Billionaires, and the Fascists. We've been seeing some prominent billionaires cozying up to Trump in recent months, and in hindsight, after the recent election, this is kind of scary. Zuckerberg long ago lifted his Facebook ban on the ex-president, as well as various protections he had established against disinformation. More recently, Jeff Bezos forbade his Washington Post from publishing a presidential endorsement, obviously to help out the Donald. And then there is the likely reptilian Elon Musk. Enough said. Corporations and the super wealthy class are moving to protect themselves and their fortunes, ingratiating themselves to Trump, seeing what kind of financial opportunities there are with the new regime. That's what they do. Make money, protect the money they've got. That's capitalism under all circumstances. That's what the German industrialists did under Hitler. Screw democracy, I just got a big fat military contract. There is only one moral imperative for capitalism: make money. And you know, the Democrats embrace the amoral billionaires, embrace the amoral corporations as valued campaign donors. But this sucking up to Trump isn't simply a situation with an important constituency going rogue, like, oops, we lost the billionaires. No, it's much, much worse than that. The Democratic embrace of the billionaires literally created the circumstances that enabled fascism to come to power in America. I keep talking about the collapse of the political center in this country. I mean, there is something that we call the center, but it's almost all about the so-called politics of identity, race, sex, gender, LGBTQ, stuff that corporations like because they're lawsuit averse. But then you see how this works, don't you? Democrats address only the left-wing issues that corporations allow them to address, issues that corporations like, issues that don't threaten them. The Democrats collectively do as they're told, and that means dancing with the ones that brung them. Clinton gave us NAFTA's offshoring, which finally killed the unions. Obama bailed out the banks instead of the people losing their homes. Biden cut pandemic services way too early, and all of them presided over stagnating wages for decades. Meanwhile, the corporations enabled by the Democrats went wild, and the rich got richer. That's what happens when you embrace the neoliberal consensus, or if you prefer, more simply, conservative economics. In this way, there is no longer a political center. All economics are right-wing, and it has been like this since the 1990s. This, in turn, has caused generational economic anxiety, which for many has morphed into desperation over the years. Nearly half the country lives like this now, desperately creating preconditions for civil unrest. Without a political center, that unrest has only two places it can go: to the right or to the left. and because decades and decades and decades of anti-communism in this country, it's destroyed America's left, there's really only one show in town if you are desperate and pissed off, and that's the right wing, which has masterfully exploited the fears of immigrants and other races that always accompany times of economic hardship. And that's how the Democrats failed us. They went for the money, and they were just fine with throwing poor people and the working classes under the bus in exchange. They did this to themselves, and they will always do this to themselves until they remember that it is impossible to square the interests of billionaires with the interests of workers. Either the Democrats embrace a politics of the working class, or they die, and they take the whole country down with them. I'm Ron Reeder, and this has been Ron Reeder Digs the Universe. Join me, Ron Reeder, again next week for another episode of Ron Reeder Digs the Universe. Okay, I got to acknowledge that a lot of the thinking that I got going on in this episode about the political center and unrest and fascism and whatnot, I get that mostly from Chris Hedges, whose trilogy of books, all written during the Obama administration, American Fascists, Empire of Illusion, and Death of the Liberal Class, they are must-reading. They were downright prescient. And if you want to understand what's going on now, read those three Chris Hedges books. You will not regret it, I assure you.